What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and Ezra Miller has been arrested again. Again. This time, he smashed a chair into a woman's head. But you know what? He still hasn't lost his job. He is still working with WB. He was just in, the last Fantastic Beasts movie? He's the Flash. But you know who they did fire? They fired Johnny Depp. However, Ezra Miller has been arrested like 3 times within the last month for assaulting people, assaulting women. But he gets away with it because he's part of the Alphabet Mafia. Let's go ahead and take a look at what he did, and I'm going to brush you up on his prior charges. Those of you who may not know who this guy is, I want you guys and you girls, let's be careful here. You got to be inclusive. I want all of you guys and gals to look into this dude, because I want you to see how hypocritical Hollywood really is. I want you to understand that there is a double standard. As long as you are not a straight white male, you get passes in Hollywood for doing certain things. Ezra Miller was arrested in Hawaii, this time being taken in for second-degree assault after an incident at a residence in Pahoa. Per a police report, cops responded to a report of an assault at a get-together at a private house around 1:10 a.m. During an investigation, police identified Miller as the suspect and determined that they became... They're trying to refer to him as they. I am sorry. I love everyone. I accept everyone. I accept everyone's way of life. But what I don't do is I don't immerse myself into other people's fairy tale worlds that they create in their brains. So if you're a man, you were born a man, you appear to look like a man, I'm probably going to call you a he. And because I'm from the South, I'll take it one step further and I'll probably say yes, sir. Because I was raised to have manners, and I say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to anyone, just about anyone, especially like if you're working. You know, I don't care if you're a 14-year-old kid working at McDonald's and you're taking my order. I will refer to you as yes, sir, or yes, ma'am. That's the way I was raised. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yet they want to change us. They want to act like we're bad people because we don't go along with these random pronouns that they literally sat and created in their bedroom. How am I supposed to know that you don't want to be called a he or a she? You want to be called a... I can't even make the sound. I'm sorry. But these people literally come up with fake sounds. I can't even call them words because they're literally like chirp chips. I want to be called a tree. Like, I don't got time for it. But they're calling him a they because I guess he wants to be called a they. So anyway, during the investigation, police identified Miller as the suspect and determined that they became irate after being asked to leave and reportedly threw a chair, striking a 26-year-old female in the forehead, resulting in an approximate half-inch cut. The victim, however, declined medical treatment. I wonder why. Probably because it was Ezra Miller who threw the chair. Maybe she got a little bit of money on the side. Miller was arrested at around 1:30 a.m. after police found them. See, they're calling him a them. After police found them. And when I'm reading this, I want you to understand. When you read this shit, it sounds stupid because it makes you think, oh, we're talking about multiple people here. The whole way this article is written, to appease these weirdos is so sickening to me. After police found him, not them would imply that there is more than one person here. And I don't care if Ezra Miller suffers from multiple personality disorder and sometimes he feels like a dainty woman. Miller was arrested at around 1:30 a.m. after police found him on the roadway during a traffic stop. Miller was released from custody at about 4:05 a.m. after cops conferred with prosecutors. An investigation into the incident, however, is still ongoing. Now, I don't know. I'm not sure with how the law works in certain areas, but damn, this dude's been arrested for assaulting people like 3 times in 1 month. Is he able to just keep posting bail? Is he not already out on like multiple bonds already? But I mean, when you got enough money, I know, anything goes. The arrest is Miller's latest in a string of run-ins with law enforcement in Hawaii over the past month or so. Over the course of several weeks, in March alone, Miller was reportedly the subject of at least 10 police phone calls in Hilo, Hawaii. This one man was the subject of at least 10 police phone calls. I did not know that. I only knew of like 3 other incidents that happened with him. 10? And remember what I said. This guy is still allowed to star in all of these movies. Meanwhile, Johnny Depp can't. Meanwhile, the same company that fired Johnny Depp is working with Ezra Miller. Why? Because he's protected. Because he refers to himself as a they, them. And they, thems don't deal with the same repercussions that we do. So he's allowed to wreak havoc in Hawaii, and everyone's scared and afraid to say anything about it because they think that if you punish people who are part of this alphabet community, that you will be deemed as a bigot or you're hateful. It's a hate crime when you arrest a they, them for bashing women over the head with chairs. So it's not like... Sometimes with these celebrities, you have people that are in their camp that enables them to act a certain way. I feel like Amber Heard was enabled to act a certain way because of the people in her camp. Like, let's just take her out of the equation. Celebrities all the time, they act irate, they do stupid things within their own camp. And, the people around them enable that. Here, society is enabling this. This isn't Ezra Miller walking around with a whole entourage, bodyguards everywhere, and everyone that he surrounds himself are his so-called friends. No, this is Ezra Miller by himself going around the world wreaking havoc and not having to deal with any consequences. And he always assaults women. I don't know how many women he assaulted within these 10 police phone calls, but I know of 3 at least. He hit this woman with a chair. A while back, like when this all started, when we all realized that Ezra Miller had a problem, he was drunk in like Ireland or somewhere, I believe, and like choked a woman to the ground. And we couldn't really figure out, was this a joke or was this serious? But it turned out to be serious. A lot of these events were relatively minor though. See, they're already trying to play it off like, no, listen. If you get the police called on you like 10, 15 times within a month, it's no longer minor. I don't care. Maybe if it was just one contained incident, maybe that will be a minor incident. But when you have 10 minor incidents, it becomes a major issue. But they're already trying to write it off like it's not a big deal. These events were relatively minor, with the actor accused of filming people at a gas station, refusing to leave the sidewalk outside a restaurant, and arguing with people. He is very combative. Like that, what he does, it's never like him minding his own business and acting weird. It always has something to do with him literally attacking people. Then on March 28th, Miller was arrested after becoming agitated by a couple singing Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's Shallow at a karaoke bar. Per the arrest report, Miller grabbed the microphone forcefully from the woman singing and then later lunged at a man playing darts. Now, mind you, this is something that's really important. These 10 times that someone called the police on him, this has nothing to do with this incident. So we have records that the police were called, law enforcement was called on Ezra Miller 10 times. And then after that 10 times, he went on to assault 2 people at a bar. And mere hours after that, he was actually arrested for that. He got disorderly conduct and harassment. He was released on bail, and then immediately left the jail and stormed into a couple's bedroom and threatened them. Per court documents, the couple claimed that Miller burst into their bedroom and said, "I will burn your slut wife." Miller was also accused of stealing their passport and wallet. The couple then filed a temporary restraining order against Miller, which a judge is expected to rule on by the end of the month. This man busted in some people's room and said, "I'm going to burn your slut wife." Moments after getting out of jail, he drove straight from the jail to these people's house, busted in there, and threatened that he was going to set them on fire. This is the Flash in the DC movies. The Flash, the guy who runs fast, that's Ezra Miller. You know the movie Fantastic Beasts? The movie that Johnny Depp got fired from? Yeah, Ezra Miller stars in that. Yeah. This is who they feel comfortable with being on their movies. But not Johnny Depp, not a man who was assaulted by his wife or ex-wife repeatedly. Now, Miller's string of arrests has prompted an emergency meeting of executives at Warner Brothers and the comics giant DC to discuss the actor's future with the studio. Though the studio has time before it needs to make any hard decisions, no, it doesn't. The consensus was reportedly to pause any future projects involving Miller, including possible appearances in other DC Extended Universe films. Production on The Flash was also reportedly fraught with drama, with one insider saying Miller had frequent meltdowns on the set. So not only is he an issue off-screen and off the job, on the job, while working on these movies, he is also accused of having frequent meltdowns. Still has a job. And yeah, remember what I told you about how Miller attacked another woman and choked her? That was in April 2020, and that was actually in Iceland, not Ireland. So I was a little off there. But that clip is still up on the internet. So here we have Ezra Miller, a they-them protected by our society, who is at this point, he's a serial assaulter. I mean, I don't know what to call it. Maybe that's a new word, a new phrase we can call it, But literally, he's emboldened by our society to go out here, pretend like he's not a man, and beat up on women. That's literally what he does. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When it was a one-time thing, it was a one-time thing. Now it's like a 15-time thing? Dude has assaulted how many women at this point? And no one wants to say anything about it. Everyone wants to shy away from the facts. And the fact is, this dude is protected because of what he identifies as. If he was a straight man who didn't have all these pronouns in his bio, wasn't this weird woke idiot, then his jobs would have been gone. He would have been gone a long time ago from the very first woman that he assaulted. But because he's part of a protected class in this, country, he's allowed to wreak havoc all over the world. You watching this video right now, chances are you go out this weekend and Ezra Miller hits you over the head with a pool stick. And you know what? Maybe he'll go to jail for it, but he'll be right out. He won't suffer any consequences for it. And he'll go on to star in another multi-million-dollar movie, while you sit at home with a black eye sad because, unfortunately, these people, they trump women. And what I mean by that, it's like, women used to be the protected class, if you will. Like, remember the Me Too movement? believe all women. It's kind of how we got here in this Amber Heard, Johnny Depp situation. And now the LGBTQ plus people, they went well past women, on the victim scale. You know what I mean? So these people can do whatever they want. Better believe you better watch out, because Ezra Miller might be coming for you. And it's sad, but what can I say? What can I do about it? Our society has enabled this. And people like me who try to call stuff out like this, we get attacked all the time for it. We get labeled all types of mean names and mean words and called this and that for calling this stuff out. I have no problem with what Ezra Miller wants to identify as, but Ezra Miller needs to be held just as accountable as any other adult human being that is doing what he is doing. It's not okay for this grown-ass man to be running around in all these clubs, beating women over the heads with chairs, telling them that he's going to set them on fire, snatching microphones out of their hand because they want to sing Lady Gaga. It's sad. And where are all the real men in this situation? Someone should have laid his ass out by now. He's at all of these bars, all of these clubs, all of these parties, just beating women left and right, and no man has stepped up and done anything about it. Come in my house and tell someone who's with me that you're going to set them on fire. I dare you. You won't be leaving out that door breathing. And that's a fact. But, all in all, there's nothing that we can do about the situation but signal boost it when it happens. Because we aren't the people that can really hold him accountable. It's up to Hollywood to hold him accountable. So what we do in these situations, I think it's important to bring as much attention to these situations as possible, so more people in our society can spot the double standard. More people in our society can realize, oh, wait, there's portions of our society that don't have to deal with the same rules and laws that we do, all because they're protected for some unknown reason. Just because you like to have sex with the same sex doesn't mean that you shouldn't have to deal with the same repercussions from beating on women inside of nightclubs, inside of bars, in Iceland. This guy literally travels the world beating up women. That's how bad it is. He's in Hawaii doing it now. You've heard 15 times the police have been called on him. At least 3 of those times we know he assaulted women. And we know he assaulted women in Iceland. So dude's just jet setting around the world, beating women up, and no one's doing anything about it. And then he's going to have the Flash movie come out, and he's going to make millions of dollars from it, and people are going to praise him for being so brave for being a they, them. But I want to know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. How in the hell do you think this guy keeps getting away with this? Let me know your thoughts down below. But while you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video.